Hi, I'm Say, and I draw, and I'm going to teach you guys how to draw today. It's going to be, I think this one's going to be a lot of fun. Um, and I've been really excited for this one for I'm shaking my whole table. I've been really excited for this one for like 2 months now. We're going to be creating self-portraits in the style of Yayoi Kusama, who is a Japanese contemporary artist who is still alive. She's 94 years old. And she is all about the polka dot. She's obsessed with polka dots. And basically, our self-portraits are going to be made out of polka dots, or sort of adorned with polka dots, I guess is more accurate. Right? So I guess, am I allowed to share my screen?
If
Is
you
it
are a
possible?
co-host, I'll make you a co-host, just say, and then you can do it. You can share your screen now.
All right. Because I just want to show everybody like some examples
Yes,
before
that
we
would
get
be great
started.
today. Yeah.
This is just a simple like Google search. But these are sort of, she makes all kinds of art, mostly like installation and sculpture, and like performance art. And I've personally seen some of her work in person, particularly at the Botanical Garden in 2021. And also at my school, I go to FIT. I'm not on campus today, don't worry about it. But she's had some exhibits at my school as well that I've seen. And basically, we're going to, everything she does is with polka dots. She also really likes pumpkins as well. Um, and from what I've read, she likes polka dots because they sort of represent like the cosmic everything to her. Like everything in the universe is like a dot, like a little dot in the universe, like every atom at every level, at every scale, which I think is really, really cool. So she has a bunch of these, and these are all her self portraits, by the way. And what I really like about them is that they're all so different from each other, even though she is the same person. Like this one, she's a cat. So that's cool, right? This one, she has her iconic red bob that you can see right here depicted in this. But when she was younger, she had longer hair and she's had different like hair colors and things. Um, and yeah, this is basically what we're going to be doing today. It's going to be a lot of fun. So let's get to it. Right? I gotta change my camera. Boom. So I have some squares. Don't worry about that. You don't need to draw them. I just want to go over the basics of like drawing a face in this style. For those of you who would like to learn. This is very abstract and simplified, sort of a graphic style, because again, she's a contemporary artist. So we're really like simplifying our forms and playing with shapes and things like that. But let me zoom in on like one square here. So typically what I like to do, we're doing pretty much all of her self-portraits are like a straight head-on shot, right? So we're going to be first and foremost doing that. And what I always like to do whenever I draw a person is start with a circle. I'm going to start with a circle. My circle's wobbly and lumpy, but it doesn't matter. I press my pencil on the paper very lightly, so it will be erased later. It doesn't matter. Or drawn over, rather, painted over. And once I have my lumpy circle, I go with a center line like that. And I bring it a little bit below the circle because we got jaw lines. I mean, her self-portraits kind of don't, but our heads are more so like oval shaped, right? Than like a perfect circle. So I just like to bring another arch down, and then we got this like thick neck. So just 2 straight lines, and then can draw the shoulders, you know, sort of a slight diagonal line coming out from each neckline. And that's that already. We already have like the head on the neck, on the shoulders. Easy peasy. So now we have to get into the features of the face, which is always a fun part. So I like to do not a straight line across like we did up and down, but another curved line so that I know where the eyes are going to go. And I'm just going to place 2 circles for now. And then we got the nose. A lot of her portraits, she just does 2 nostrils. And I'm going to use the initial circle line to place those. Like this is the initial circle that I drew, and I'm just going to place the nostrils along that right there. And then beneath that, we got the mouth. So she got some nice lips, some nice voluptuous red lips in a lot of these. Like 2, I don't know how to describe. This is like a semicircle, and then these are like 2 lumps, and they meet in the center line. Like everything comes back to the center line, right? So now that we got the nose and the lips drawn, like we kind of don't really need those anymore. So you can go ahead and take your eraser. Mine is super dirty. My eraser is super dirty. So I'm gonna like tear off a piece of it. Yeah, just go like that. I have 4 different squares because I want to show everybody how to draw different kinds of features. So I'm just starting off with like what Yayoi presents herself in a way. I'm gonna erase this line too because I think her neck starts a little too close to her, to like where her lips are. And for the eyes, again, just like an almond shape, like that, along the curve that I drew to guide myself. So pretty simple. And then we got like 2 big circles. Just looking. We have vision, we're seeing. Right? And then just above that, we're just gonna like draw the eyebrows. Whatever. I'm gonna keep this really simple, just like some arches. But of course in the like different square variations, like we'll do different shapes. So I guess now we can go into like the hairline, which is really what the most variation is going to come into. So in a lot of these, she has like a straight bang. What I like to do is draw a curved line like beneath the initial circle that I draw, and that's sort of like the hairline. And so all the hair like comes off of that spot. So she has bangs, so we're drawing bangs like that. And then off the top of the bangs, we're just going to draw the hair like going straight down. And boom. Very, very simple and easy. And she has like these side bangs here. Very cute. Very cute. Very cute hairstyle. I used to have bangs when I was a kid because I wanted to look like Hannah Montana. But it doesn't really work out for me the same way because my hair's curly. So they would always just stick up. And so now basically you can like erase all your lines. It's very simple. All your like extra guidelines. I should be specific. all these extra lines. I tore off like such a small piece of my eraser. I can't really. So that's one kind of face. But like, what if you don't look like that? We're doing a self-portrait. Draw yourself. What do you look like? Let's start again. Circle, line, boom. Chin, boom. Neck, shoulders, boom. What if you're like a little bigger? If you're a big person, make that, add that thickness, Just make the circle bigger, you're gonna make the neck wider, all that stuff. Right? But we're still like following the center line anyway. So we got this. It's pretty big, I think. Some people got nice round squishy faces, and that's pretty cool. So yeah, she doesn't really define the jaw in any of her portraits, so I won't either, but I just like, I need to know where it is. It'll be erased, just for me. But if you don't want to draw the jawline, you don't have to. You can skip that step, I suppose. We're gonna draw 2 circles for the eyes. What if you have like a skinny, pointy nose? We're gonna draw like 2 smaller nostrils. We're gonna draw like this line here of like the nose bridge. And what if you want to smile? Let's smile. Smiling is nice. So I just, drew like a simple smiley face, and you could leave it at that, really. But then I added some lips, And like, what if your eyes are shaped differently? Like, what if you have more downturned eyes, right? So let's draw that. So instead of here, how I follow the line going up, I'm starting at the line on this side, but I'm bringing my line a little further down at the end. So it's like downturned. Right? And then we're just gonna like meet that again. And maybe these pupils are smaller. And maybe we got like thick eyebrows. Or so I usually always start off my eyebrows with a line and then just like go up and then back down like that. So these are sort of like an isosceles triangle, I guess. And this person has like a different expression. And maybe we want to have ears in this portrait, because what if this person likes to wear their hair back? So I drew their hairline just like that, going from ear to ear. And then starting like a little bit below the ear, I'm gonna start drawing a curve. And then draw like the rest. And then draw like their hair's back. I don't know if it's ponytail or a bun, because we're looking at them straight forward. So yeah. And that's like a second kind of face, right? And to draw glasses, if you wear glasses, it's very simple. You draw like that over the nose bridge. And depending on like the shape of your glasses, like if you wear square glasses, it's super easy to draw glasses head on. It gets more complicated if you're doing like a 3-point view or something. You draw a rectangle, or like if you wear circular glasses, draw a circle around the eyes, and then you just connect them like right to the ear, like that. And so that's the base. We'll do 2 more. She has a portrait of herself that looks more like a cat, so let's have fun with that, right? If you want to draw yourself like a cat, I think you should be able to. I don't see the problem in that. Neck, shoulders. Like a big cat person. Cats have ears on the top of their head. So I'm gonna draw some ears, some triangles touching the top right there. We're gonna maybe not curve it like so dramatically, maybe just like do the eyeline like that. So down here is going to be the cat nose, which is like a little black button thing. So I first drew like a wiggly line that starts up, goes down, and then up again. And then I just did it over and over again until like one on top of the other going up like that. And then cats, like their mouths go from their nose, so like in a straight line, right? And then we got their eyes. So to draw a cat eye, instead of ending the top line at the eye line, you end it above. So it's like the opposite of these downturned eyes here. It's upturned. And we'll have these like big, and they have like these pupils, you know, these like thin pupils. And we'll draw the nose bridge and like some whiskers. We got a cat person. Meow. Maybe we'll do a collar, like a bell. Or a cat bell. Very cool. And there's people like me who have a curly hair. So let's get into that as well. I guess we can give this cat curly hair. Because this is so abstract, it's like kind of fun to do it in bubbles or circles or whatever. But you can do bubbles because they're sort of like big polka dots, right? Like that, kind of, whatever. And then like within them you can do like your little polka dots, but that's later. We're getting ahead of ourselves. We're gonna do a long head this time. Long head, long neck. This is gonna be a long person with cascading curly hair. And it's even easier like if you're drawing an afro, because that's just like a big circle, pretty much. It's like really, really simple. Yeah, we got the nose, got the mouth. I'm just gonna draw a straight line. Got the eyes. We're gonna draw them like really small, like give them some under eye bags. They're kind of tired, whatever. And maybe they're like looking off to the side. Like that. Like they just woke up from a nap, you know? I'm gonna draw that hairline from ear to shining ear. And I guess this time we could do like a side part. So to do the side part, I'm just gonna like draw a line right there. And then I'm basically just going to like do a wiggly line going from that side part, you know? And depending on how curly it is, like you can make these wiggles like smaller or bigger. Right? And also like the fun part about it is that you can segment this hair. So I like to go like so. To continue like that pattern. You can break it up in however way you want. That's like wiggly and wobbly. This is just what comes naturally to me. So, you know, just keep that in mind that this is really just more like a suggestion than rule. But we got a bunch of lines here because we need to break up all the spaces that we're putting polka dots in, ultimately. Well, these are our 4 little test drives. And so the next thing I did was I just laid down like some base color. So I'm gonna go in with this marker. Maybe like maybe it'll be fun to do this. But we're gonna color her in first. So we're gonna go yellow, pink, and purple, like super light though. Light yellow, light pink, light purple. And I recommend starting the background off with the lighter color because it will be easier to lay on darker colors after. So I shook my marker to wake up the paint inside. I'm going to take my scrap piece of paper and like make sure that the color comes out. It's coming out, so we can start. And I am just going to trace her face and her body. You can also, I guess I forgot to show that you can also like draw like the beginning of like a shirt or a dress or something, a hoodie. So I should show that before I color the other 3. Or I'll show that on the other 3, I guess. I don't know how much time I'll have. But yeah, basically just like very simple coloring in. This will take longer if you do it on a bigger piece of paper. It certainly took me a while on my regular 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper that I did myself on. So, you know, just keep that in mind. But this is like a really relaxing process. And I like it because it makes you think about the way you look and sort of simplify it. Like, what are your most identifiable features? You know, maybe you have a beauty mark, or I don't know, you're wearing glasses, or like you got a tattoo on your face or something. Or on your collarbone, you have a tattoo. Those are popular. So we got that going on. We're gonna color in our pupils like that. It's very simple. And we're gonna color in like the front of her hair purple. And we're gonna color in the back of her hair pink. And while this layer dries, I'm gonna show you guys how to draw like different shirt collars and things like that. Because it's so personalized, I would rather like cover all the bases than just like do one example in front of you. Because I want you guys to make your own portrait instead of like copy what I do. The way there's a fly on my hand, oh my gosh. I have plants, so it's like they attract gnats. It's quite unfortunate because now it's springtime and I'm getting gnats again. That means it's time to put my plants outside. Yeah, just gonna like very quickly. I like these markers because I like these more than colored pencils in a way, although, you know, I really love colored pencils. I think these have precision like a colored pencil, but they cover so much more territory and they're so much more opaque than a colored pencil. Colored pencils, you constantly have to go in and like do layers and layers and layers, or like press down really hard, versus I'm putting this on the paper pretty lightly and it's coming out really well. So, you know, well, let's like do her nostrils. Neat. And I'm gonna go in with that pink. Color in the lips. Those lips, honey. Pout for days. And then we're gonna do like the back of her hair a different color, because that's also a common theme within her portraits, is that like I guess to contrast the front and the back, to add some sort of depth, they're like two different colors, which I think is kind of cool. And I literally have my hair dyed like that, so yeah. All right, so this lady, she kind of looks like a grandma a little bit, actually. But let's give her like a nice, so I just draw a curved line and I go like that. Maybe we'll add a button. I don't know. It's very simple. Like now she's wearing a shirt. This cat is already wearing a collar, but maybe they also are wearing a vest. So we'll start with 2 lines like that. And we'll go along the shoulders here until we reach the neckline, and we'll just like make a V. So they're wearing a vest. This person I feel like is wearing a hoodie. So I'm gonna draw a curved line. And I'm going to bring it like behind their neck a little bit. And then I'm going to like mirror that curved line and sort of create like there's a hole in the hoodie with my pencil. And yeah, that's their, you know, that's their hoodie. So pretty pretty simple, I think. And they would have like 2 holes like for the drawstrings or whatever. I'm going off the square. I've broken free, but it's just for demonstration purposes. Back to this. So we had laid down our 3 base colors very beautifully. And so now what I think is really cool is that in a lot of her self-portrait, she just sort of goes down a line with the polka dots, or at least like when she has the hair straight down, she goes down with it. Like everything sort of matches. So I'm going to take these darker purples and this black. I don't even know if I've used this black. I have not. I don't really use black in my art, so I gotta wait for this to come out of the marker. All right. And so basically just want to go down in a line and do some dots. If you do like a little circle, like a little tiny circle, like that, they'll be big. So polka dots are cool because you can just stamp your marker down and you'll have some. And you can do them as close or as far apart as you wish. So I did them really close for the eye. And I'll do them really close on the eyebrow.
That's just like her. I love that say. It looks great.
Yes. This sort of reminds me of pointillism a little bit, which is another like contemporary art technique where you basically create colors with just the primary ones.
And you have to be really patient.
Precise, yes. But this is more fun than that because it's less technical. I mean, I love to get technical in my art, but it's difficult. And yeah, and then we're just gonna outline the nostrils like that, right? And I'm gonna go into her eye with, I think, some blue. Let's use blue. And let's just like, and so because we went over everything with like the purple, the negative space will be purple instead of white, which is like really helpful, I think, for us. Yeah. And she doesn't really like do it's the iris. We just did the iris. She normally just does the iris. She doesn't really add the pupil in the iris, but it's kind of 50-50. I'm looking at them. Some have it, some don't. So a big polka dot for that pupil. There we go. The white part of the eye is the sclera. The colored part is the iris, and the black part is the pupil. Yeah, and I'm going to go up and down her hair with polka dots of different colors and thicknesses in like a recurring pattern, I guess. And it certainly matters like how you hold the marker. If you go straight like perpendicular to the page, you'll get a more accurate circle than if you're like at an angle. So like you can see like the little ones I did, I was doing it at an angle because I was being careless and I'm like rushing. Don't rush your art, or do, but like don't. Take your time with it. Yeah, I'm just gonna like fill this out a little bit. I'm like pressing down for like a second with each of these dots here, which is fun. And I'm just gonna be like rotating. And for these dots, I'm holding my marker perpendicular, but I'm doing like a little circle. So it's not exactly, so they don't come out looking exactly the same way as like the other polka dots I've done. And yeah, it's like kind of the whole deal. You just like rotate different polka dots or whatever. Just make sure between each one you like fully pick up the marker before you put it down again. Otherwise it can get kind of sloppy. Right, and then I think that we could, I think it's clear like what's going on with the hair here. I want to move on to like doing her skin, just to like go over that in the interest of time. So I'm gonna grab this yellow. There's two different yellows in this set. This one is like true yellow and this one's like a golden yellow. So I'm using this golden yellow and I'm using this tan. It's not really tan, it's more like, it's like an ash brown. It's really like that's what it looks like. I don't know how to, it's like muddy. But on top of this that I already laid down, you know, I'm just going to sporadically like place these dots everywhere. And I did like a little baby thumbnail version, just in the interest of time, but trust, I do have like, this is me. I have a big version. So I recommend that you do a big portrait version. So you can really like get lost in placing the dots. And just think about your existence in this universe. Or something existential like that. I don't know. So you can see like how different it looks with and without the dots, like right side by side. Yeah. And I think in all the examples, I think that the dots along her skin are more sporadic than like along her hair or clothes, which kind of makes sense. Sort of represents like, to me anyway, like our cells make up our body. They're just kind of all jumbled together, you know, like whatever fits. And again, because we went ahead and laid down like a bottom color, we don't have to worry about if there's white space or not, because there is none, except for in the scleras, but that's normal. Polka dot princess, let's go. right? So we did that with this, I'm gonna call it mud. Like it just looks like mud to me, this color, but it looks good along like against the base color that we did. And I'm gonna go ahead and use this golden as well. And just sort of like do some more dots sporadically. Right? Boom. So like the more color dots you add to it, the more dimension is added to this pretty two-dimensional style of portraiture. It's not really about shade and shadow like portraiture in realism is, you know, it's more about like trying to see what we can't in the form of polka dots. And I'm even maybe like, I got this brown, like maybe I can add this brown. And just little baby dots all around. So I'm being really hesitant and sparse with these dots. Don't want to overwhelm. And I'm also like very lightly like kissing the paper. Like I'm not even really, like I can't even feel the paper on the other end of the marker when I touch it. You know? So sort of like that. So you got like a lot of sprinkles everywhere. I'm gonna go in with this darker pink on her lips. I'm gonna outline those. We're gonna do like a weird pattern in the back here. Because it doesn't all have to be like straight up and down. And polka dots. She looks kind of cool. I put some dots on her eyebrows, so I'm gonna cover that up. But word, she's pretty cool. I'm gonna go down again, like all the way down with these guys. Dun, 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 dun. I suggest when you use these markers in particular, I suggest you go based off of like your handedness. So I'm right-handed and I just made a mistake, which is why I'm bringing this up. I started on my right-hand side when I should have started on my left-hand side, because if you start on the side that your hand is on and you move on to the next side, you could possibly smear the paint while it's still like wet, which is annoying, especially when you're trying to be like precise with these dots. Also, it helps if you hold your hand like this instead of like this. I keep holding it like this so you guys can see what I'm doing, but you don't have to do that. You can certainly like go straight perpendicular up and down, like I said earlier. I'm going with the black again. And this is just another, like, for me anyway, I find this to be really relaxing to do, just to go in and like meticulously plot every dot. See, I did it again. I started on my right side, so I'm gonna have to like turn the page a little bit. I need to follow my own advice. Yeah, we just got like a few more of these lighter purple dots to go in. Yeah. Very awesome, very cool. So this will look even more clearer if you do it on a bigger base. And I will very quickly like use these last 10 minutes to show you that on my base here. So this is me. Hi, hello. I'm going to take this brown and color my eyebrows. I got pretty thick eyebrows. I'll show you again. Hi, look at my eyebrows. They're nice, and I mean, I'm wearing makeup, but like that's normally how thick they are anyway, right? So that's why they're so thick in my drawing. And they're straight. I don't really have like a high arch or anything. So I'm going to go in all around my brow. Just pressing dots on the page. Along the shape of my brow, and then like filling it in also. And like filling in any polka dot gaps that I may find as well. And I'm gonna do the same thing with like my eye here. I'm gonna place the dots like way close to each other. Like this. So that it's like all one. It's like almost a line, but it's not, because every dot is a break in the line. Right? And the same thing, I'm gonna go around my iris, making sure not to get into my sclera. And I'm going to like go towards the center of my iris, towards where the pupil is going to be, with these dots sort of in a radial pattern. And I've been told by my eye doctor that my eyes are too big for my head, which is why my iris doesn't touch the bottom of my sclera. Most people's irises do, but mine don't. So that's why I drew it like that. It's just something that you can notice about yourself. I'm going to do like really delicate dots here. I'm going to do really delicate dots here because I want that to be a less prominent line, like as opposed to my top one. I'm going to go in with black in my iris. And you can already see, like, now that I'm on a bigger plane, like how much more intricate it looks than like my tiny little version right here, because it's only so small you can draw. So it sort of helps to like make the playing field bigger, if that makes sense. There's only so small a dot you can place. Now that I've added the black dots to my brow, I'm gonna add that to my eye, no, to my pupil in the middle of my iris. Like that. So that's the difference really from right to left, right there. And just sort of one way. And I guess I'll quickly show how to do this with hair as well. And I'll use my blonde part over here with this yellow. We'll zoom in to that. So with the hair, I really recommend you just follow the shape that you draw with your dots. So we were going up and down in the little thumbnail version because her hair was straight, but my hair is curly. And so I went in with that yellow, right? But that's like a little too light, so we'll go in with this mud color also. And like I said, because I went in with base colors already, you know, I don't have to worry about there being too much white because there is no white underneath. Right? Because there's no white underneath, and you don't have to worry about it. Look at that. Amazing. I think this is supposed to be gold. I've never used it before, though. I think it's like a metallic one, this pen, but regardless. Yeah, so these are just like 2 sections, or a few sections I did on like my bigger piece. Of course, I have my collar, and like I like to wear the striped shirt, so yeah. So I really went in and like I colored each little hair strand and stuff, and they're all like, it's pretty low contrast. But that's because the polka dots will add contrast, as you can see the difference between this eye and that eye. Right, so yeah, and I believe that is all the time we have left for the class. So this is, you know, this is a project that you should definitely continue on your own time, because an hour is not nearly enough time to draw your face and draw all your beautiful features and then color it in and then go on top of it with a bunch of little tiny dots. I mean, each of those steps could easily take an hour on their own or more. So I implore you to please keep going.